Countdown when ready. Heard. Well, let's get the formal stuff out of the way, and then let's get right to the fun parts. Hello there, my name's SacredTheGamer. I'm being joined today by Eternal Firefalls. He's going to be my co-commentator.
Hello.
And we're going to bring you a wonderful hack that I was proud to be a beta tester for, and I have now taken to speedrunning the living daylights out of it.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Alrighty.
Another word is obsess.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You ready, buddy?
Yep.
Alrighty. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're rolling. Alright, Rogue Dawn. Very similar to the original Metroid. It's got a lot of changes graphically though, and some subtle changes done in the coding thanks to the design program done by Snarfblam. Oh, this is also created by Grimlock Arts, and the music is done by Optimon. You can also find the music on YouTube if it interests you afterwards.
Good music in this.
Want to talk about our first item?
Might as well, considering it's bombs.
Bombs indeed. Whoops.
It's too early to be making mistakes like that.
It happens. So, originally, before all these shortcuts were added in, this is the final release, version 1.2.1. I'm hoping to get a hard mode version out there at some point, but we'll get to that in a second. Secret shortcuts were added to make life a little bit easier. Alright. I apologize, I don't know what's wrong with me. I've just lost a lot of focus.
It happens to everyone.
There we go. Sorry, I do not know what's wrong with me. Alright, so that was bombs. It's usually not as hard as that was. For some odd reason, I lost my platforming in place of my train of thought, rather. I do apologize. So I didn't know exactly where I was going with that one. So bombs is usually a lot easier to get than that, just because I make the one simple jump I was supposed to make another simple jump, and unfortunately I did not extend my jump far enough to make the recovery I needed to. Hopefully we can compensate for that, though. Thankfully with bombs, we do have a little bit of invisibility to help us via the delay it gives us, so yay! So what's next on the packing order?
I believe it would be high jump.
Sweet, high jump. High jump is unfortunately the home to one thing that we will say hello and goodbye to really fast, water physics. They're not exactly fun, but there are ways to compensate for them, and I'm hoping I remember them all. I don't know where I was going with that one.
I don't think either of us do. Well, at least for the most part, Metroid always has consistent annoyance with water physics.
But for the consistent annoyance, I will give it this much. They gave you a nice piece of music to listen to. Oops. How did I overshoot that? Alright, so using the bomb there gave me a little bit of projection to... There we go. Sometimes I can use the bomb there to overroll some stuff that will do damage. That little annoying grabby thing on the grass will do damage. And that's something we can't afford right now, obviously. But thankfully with bombs, this water section, of course when properly timed out, gets a lot easier. As you can see, we can just sort of use them to gently project ourselves. forward, more or less. high jump! Yay! Alright, so what was next? Wall jump?
I would believe so, yes.
So in your opinion, what do you think about wall jump in this game?
I actually think it would be kind of interesting. I am curious of how hard it would have been to code it in as a new item, though.
I've been meaning to ask Snarfalem about that, especially with the upcoming item following it, but we'll get to that one in a second. But wall jump was an interesting choice add-in, given that most people that have played any good Super Metroid hacks know that wall jumping is fun. And some of them go above and beyond the limit of fun and decide to make wall jump a hidden item and make you work for it, but I can say...
All the...
Go ahead, what were you going to say?
Of seeing all the shortcuts it can create in Super Metroid, I'm not entirely shocked.
I know, right? So, getting to wall jump, we very simply use bombs again that help us give us a little bit of jump room. And then... there we go! Just a tiny D-boost over. Makes up for the fact that we don't have missiles, which originally used to plow through this section. 0 seconds flat, but... well, excuse me, no time flat. I don't know why I said that. So with wall jump, thankfully we have, again, the ability to jump up walls, so it's going to make getting around the game a little bit easier. But we are missing one very important movement item. Spring ball, was it?
I believe so.
Ah. You love spring ball?
No. Yes, I do.
What do you like about
most of the time.
What do you love about spring ball?
I don't have to place a bomb to jump.
Exactly. You don't have to place a bomb to jump. You know what would also be nice about spring ball? Gravity manipulation.
Indeed it would.
Oh wait, I think this spring ball does that. But seriously though, it's one reason I absolutely love spring ball, and it actually makes getting through some of the secrets in the area more accessible, because without it, you wouldn't be able to do certain things. Case in point, I am currently incapable of mid-air morphs, however, thanks to picking it up right in this wonderful little bush. It's a spring, it's a ball. It's so much more.
Come to think of it, how long did it take for you to realize that this existed in the game?
I found Spring Ball originally in the first release. Didn't even realize it was there. I found it in the Boneyard, the area before the Metroid Hive. And I was like, okay, so I have to come here to get Spring Ball. Alright. So I started routing in to figure out when to come here, how to get it. And then on one day I was watching Spider Waffle doing a 100% run. And I noticed where he picked up Spring Ball. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This has got to be a fake. So I planned to run around it. And I found Spring Ball there. I saved 20 minutes that day.
So there are 2 copies of it in the game then?
Yep.
That's the looks of it.
Also, for reference, there is a glitched way to get bombs early, using Metroid 1 famous door clippings. So there is a faster route to bombs if you'd like to actually go through the game using, you know, more of the basic stuff that is allowed for, like, you know, outside of no major glitches. There are glitched ways to get the things. There are 2 copies of bombs. There are 2 copies of... what else is there? 2 copies of bombs, and there was one more thing.
I don't believe you ever mentioned it to me, so I went...
Spring Ball.
Oh.
The item we just got. No, I was thinking back for a second. I think the other item was like, we just talked about it. So, once we get inside through the secret passage, we have the Robo boss for the Federation Science ship. This is the Ridley clone, and as you can see, bomb blocking him is the easiest way to deal with it. Saves you from taking extra damage, and just saves you overall time. Rewards 50 missiles. And we have this wonderful little item in a capsule. What was the purpose of this item again?
I don't remember offhand.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the, this gives us the access to the final boss. By access, I mean we can actually damage him in the front. So thankfully, the science ship is very simple. Getting out is very simple. Getting to the Chozo jungles is our next topic. And that's where all the fun begins. And just because I noticed it in chat, I have witnessed Linkameister personally attempt to do a run of this. He was coming up on a possibility of a sub 27 solid, but unfortunately, as you'll see when we get there, the Mother Brain Room, plus air quotes there, just so it's noted, the Mother Brain Room is not exactly known to be friendly.
I don't think it was in any of the games that it has appeared in.
No. This one gets the medal for being that extra mile. We'll discuss why in a moment, but let's get to the heart of the matter. And more importantly, the heart of our pirate ship. We gotta find the Chozo ruins. And for those asking why there's Chozos in Metroid hack game, explanation is read the manual, and it's on SR 388 that our magical adventure takes place. But seriously, read the manual, it's worth the story.
The Chozos seem to have ruins just about everywhere these days.
I mean, heck, they had it on Talon. I mean, if you technically want to count the Luminos as Chozo, they had it on Aether. I mean, technically...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's a bit finer line on that, but yeah, Aether.
I'll give you that one. I don't like this jump. I've never found a safe way to get through that room without wasting too much time. It's okay, though.
It's possible that that's the point of the room.
Touché. So thankfully, the Chozo ruins, again with Spring Ball, become much simpler, and also with Wall Jump much simpler because, again, Spring Ball allows us to mid-air morph. We can use that to our advantage to squeeze into small pockets, provided we actually have the height. There we go. This game can be finicky sometimes. Or maybe it's just me. I haven't determined which one. I think it's me.
Could be a combination.
Fair point again.
I do like the design of this area, though. Looks like you're actually in a jungle.
I know.
Some other
So, one thing I'd like to point out about Kraid is that I could use missiles on him by attempting to stand up and attack him, but to a good point of knowledge, doing so means you have less missiles for your next objectives. And they're kind of important to save.
missiles are important in just about every game, though.
True, but there's no more important missiles than Nestroid missiles.
True.
And I think anyone who's ever played Nestroid has just quietly bowed their head and said amen. Well, thankfully with our newfound pack of 50 missiles on top of the original pack of 50 we got for the Commander defeat, we now have 100 missiles, leave our jungle behind, and we're ready to go on to the final area, but Metroids kinda have a tough armor, don't they?
Yeah.
If only they were pre-genetically disposed to some disposition that could make them weak to some form of weapon. Do you know of some type of weapon?
Probably the ice beam.
That sounds like a nice beam.
Indeed it does.
Sorry, I had to go there. All jokes and fun play aside, yes, Ice Beam is our next destination because that is the only way we're going to survive the final area. But to get there, we have to kind of go to the outskirts of the land. In experimental weapons. As a fun fact, if you're interested, in the previous room before the one we just entered, if you blow open the hole to the top left there, you can fall back to the actual experimental weapons and find Screw Attack. Important for 100% route. And for all new people that are trying to complete a run, because oh boy does it save your skin.
It's nice to have in just about any Metroid game.
Yes indeed. But again, one nice beam. And I got 74 missiles to do this with. Alright.
Hopefully that's enough.
I got plenty in the pocket. We're doing decent.
Don't know where Donald would be keeping pockets on that suit of hers.
True, I mean, she's sort of wearing a gymnastics, you know, survivalist hunter suit type deal thing. So, kinda agree with you there, but... Her second game armor, though, the New Game Plus armor, which, by the way, New Game Plus, if you complete, starts you with the Wave Beam and Spring Ball, and a custom-made, original, full-body armor for Samus. Dawn.
It's not even her game, and she's trying to wiggle her way in.
My memory has been destroyed. Samus must be number one. Welcome to the biggest Mr. Hog in the game. And that's why I didn't want to use too many missiles. So that guy takes... It's somewhere between 32 and 35 missiles to physically destroy him. And you cannot rapidly fire them off at once, otherwise it is going to be unsuccessful. But doing so gives you access to the Metroid Hive. Or, as I famously have called it since my first run ever, because of what it's done to me, Area Trolley 1.
You have become quite fond of that game.
And it has not been... It has had moments that I have actually gone outside and said that very, very loudly.
I don't doubt it.
But seriously, this is just the most Metroid-heavy thing you're ever gonna see in a Metroid game. Every possible room that doesn't have some form of safety has a Metroid.
Oh, this is basically a Metroid Hive.
Fair enough. The good news is, though, it's not that hard. A couple of the rooms you can get away with freezing the Metroids and advancing just so. Some of the others you're gonna have to plow your way through. It's not all that bad, though. So, right here is something I would like to throw in, harken back to the hard mode thing. One room across starts a series of what used to be 3 pits that led to the final area. That, if you fell through them, you're coming back down here. Our hard mode hack suggestion, or add-on would be, let that become a thing again. And return the original difficulty of the final boss room. Because everything in there used to move 25% faster than it's going to today. I believe.
Of course, some sort of a damage buff would probably also need to be added.
I do believe there was a, oops. I do believe heavier damage was a thing at a point in time in that room too. I mean, you know, even before getting Varia. Also, that said, yes, we are not wearing Varia. It's okay. We don't really need Varia. But it is a good thing to have, and you can actually find it in the Chozo Ruins if you so need it. But we have this.
No superheated rooms in this game.
And took 2 pellets, but I still got it on the first attempt.
This area does require a fair bit of concentration, though.
Yes, it does. Just because you have to account for when each Metroid's going to come popping out, what crack can that Metroid slip through, how many Metroids are actually in that current present area. There's a lot going on in the process of the making of, you know, what could be essential.
Also, should be noted that he has to be very careful in any room that has Metroids with vines under them, as they will do damage.
Yes, indeed. Those vines can do as much damage, if not more, than a couple Metroids latched on you. But once you do it, it is you versus the Mother Brain Chamber.
Mother Brain being in air quotes once again. Now the chamber does look very nice considering its environment. I'm glad they didn't use the original look of the other lights in this.
Alright, not getting this set up, we're gonna go for the back door.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Right now, not dying would be highly on that list.
Indeed.
Oh, thank you, Mercy.
Especially considering I don't think you've saved for one this entire time. So many different sources of damage coming at you, it's ridiculous sometimes.
And that's what's nice about Ice Beam. It's that one last extra line of defense between you and uncertainty.
Yep. It can also be the one thing that messes you up, though, if you freeze something in the wrong spot.
Like such.
Yes.
Ow. Ah, if I could have just gotten behind it the right time the first time.
Oh well. Live and you learn.
I gotta admit, that has never happened to me before.
Good thing the elevators seem to be their own form of save.
Yes, when you do actually cross by an elevator, it does automatically save the game. However, if you hit the quit button before hitting that save button at a game over screen, that is a hard reset.
So don't do it.
Not unless you're going for resetless. Which, that is not the point of today. And now I'm starting to actually regret second-guessing, Varia. I really should have gotten it. But, it's okay.
It can be added in later.
Wow. This run is trying to kill me.
Yeah. Thought it was Metroid trying to kill you, not the run.
Alright, seriously, Iron Jesus is trying to sabotage my run.
It's like you didn't pray hard enough for this.
It's alright. Worse things have happened.
True.
I guess the one good thing we can count for is the recovery pool in this room.
That Metroids are always up for blood.
The only thing we can't account for is the fact that that one little guy right there likes to shoot down a little off his mark.
Someone asked how much time would have been lost just a moment ago.
For the death?
Probably.
If I took another death, it would have been... And there's a good example to talk about those pits.
Yeah.
If I suffered the death again, it would have been, you know, if half the nonsense hasn't been happening, would have been 30 seconds, but... And the rate it's moving, it would have been about a minute. Which I'm trying to recover with a very swift escape, because I know I'm probably over at this point. Yeah, I'm over. Alright, come on.
Very little time wasted at this point.
Let me through!
Even when frozen Metroids are a problem.
Again, thank you, Ice Beam. Benefit, I am plowing straight to the boss because appetites are again destroyed. So it's just recovery, and then make the deposit.
Let's hope that he positions himself correctly this time.
I apologize. I'm just gonna politely take the DNF on this one. I have wasted way too much time trying to get that recovery. I do apologize for not being able to finish the run, but yeah, that's it. I do apologize. Thank you very much for letting me try to run. I do apologize for the unfortunate double death there, but yay. Maybe some other time.
Indeed. Just gotta practice.